Hey, what's going on, everybody? And welcome to PCG Mother Live.
Oh man,
See, this is what happens when we don't do a show for a few weeks. I get new toys, and I get to play around with all kinds of things with my new toy.
That's awesome. I love it.
Oh my
I
god!
love it.
So, to update some people, because it has been a few weeks, I recently purchased a Go XLR.
Mhm,
The thing is a freaking lifesaver, man. Like I
mhm.
just told Van, and I now have a brand new microphone set up. So now I have to officially, and it's upstairs, so I can't do anything fun with it right now. I have to officially retire the Blue Yeti.
And we
So
get to do it live.
I know we get to do it. So I'm kind of somewhat pouring one out for the homie, not really pouring out because the cap's on. So, but now we retire that, and now we have nice, sleek, smaller Audio Technica Go XLR, not Go XLR, an XLR microphone.
It is smaller. I just
It,
I just realized that.
it's much smaller. I'm not gonna lie, I love it now because before, when I had the Yeti set up, I mean, it was so bulky that it was blocking my screen on this screen right here.
Uh-huh.
If you guys see my setup, it's kind of nuts. Like I'm literally in a corner. I don't have a lot of room. Um,
hmm
so I have to finagle certain things. On
But you're making it work, man.
I'm making it work. I'm making it work. But now I have this finally. I've had this microphone for like a year, for like close to a year. So like when I was watching a video and like just making sure it's all set up right, they're like, open your box and see the 1 year warranty. I'm like, oh, there goes the 1 year warranty already. So nonetheless, I finally got it set up. I got my Go XLR. I can do all kinds of funky things like effects.
Oh no.
So the show,
It's definitely going to make it a lot more entertaining.
it's going to be so much better now once I get
You're
used to
a
this. I'm
you're
turning off
a
the effects
real
for
life
today.
radio DJ now.
That is correct. That was my echo and stuff. Oh, I get it now. Oh my god. See, I learned things.
You
I'm
learn things as
learning
you go
things on the
along.
fly because I'm sitting there like I turned up certain things and it wasn't working. I'm like, why is it not working? Because I have to push the FX button. So now I have reverb and I sound godly. And then I'll just turn it off. All right, enough
No.
goofing around. It's time for the show. um, Van, it has been quite a while since we've
Way
done
too
this.
long, my friend.
Way too long. So I have to ask the question.
Uh-oh.
What have you been playing?
So, I finished Little Nightmares.
Nice.
Fantastic game. That is a very, very dark game. Way more than I ever anticipated. That's why I wanted to play it, because of how dark it was. But I greatly enjoyed it. But right now, I'm kind of not playing anything, believe it or not. Even with all the amazing titles that are out, just kind of living
Really?
life right now. Yeah,
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah. I've been watching a lot though, with a lot of news that's been going on with all the stuff that we're going to talk about today,
Yeah.
and then just been paying attention to a lot of podcasts. I've been really trying to support a lot of streamers and do things like that. Our boy Matty Matness has been doing his thing, so
Yep.
I've been hopping in his streams every now and then and just watching that. So um, I've just been trying to catch up on life, man.
I hear you. I hear you on that and stuff.
Mm.
As for me, what have I been playing? Still somewhat going in and out between Pokemon and Animal Crossing. I did recently start Battletoads, so I've been going
Mhm.
kind of in and out with that one as well. So it's I'm actually having a lot of fun with Battletoads though. I've only been through the first few levels, but the art design, I don't mind it at all. I mean, I didn't mind it from the get go, but I don't mind it at all. Even more, just because it fits them, and I actually like the cinematics that are in it, because there's actually a lot of cinematics that I didn't even realize that they were doing, which is pretty awesome. So
Nice.
it's a much better game than I thought it was going to be. So, but kind of going in and out with a whole bunch of games right now. So that's been pretty much me, and then just working and stuff. But
No.
actually, I did try Fall Guys. Didn't tell you that. I did try Fall Guys.
What you think?
It's fun. It's a fun game.
Nice.
I like it.
Nice.
I want to play more of it. I'll be on staycation next week, so I'll be able to do a lot more things next week.
Nice.
Which is pretty sweet. So
nice. Get some more gaming in. Catch up on some more games.
Yes. I do have some plans for gaming last week.
Good.
And then hopefully we'll just get back to streaming now that I finally have this monster and this thing finally hooked up. I look a little better, so hopefully that gives me the boost to start streaming again.
Nice.
It better give me the boost to start streaming again. So anyway, that's what we've been playing. Let's get into the topics, good sir?
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm ready.
All right. So the first topic you have, this is going to be your neck of the woods. Arcades opening next week in Massachusetts.
Yeah, so it just was released today that Governor Baker is now allowing arcades to officially open. So they're really good for our friends over at Game Underground. Jamie's really excited. He's been really fighting for that. So I'm glad to hear a lot of our friends able to open, and now we can officially open up our arcade portion for everyone as well. So that's some good news. So I'm glad to see that Governor Baker was realizing the potential of where that was kind of affecting. You know what I mean? Like, didn't make sense that casinos couldn't open, but the arcades couldn't. You know what I mean? So it didn't make sense. So that's a really good thing. So that news was just dropped today. So they haven't got an official date, but they just said next week, and I'm assuming it's going to be like Monday. You know what I mean? Monday, Tuesday, or something like that.
Yep. No, that is awesome news. That is awesome news. Because now you'll be able to get people back into the a little bit into the swing of things. Obviously keep your distance, guys, for the people that might still think this is not that serious. Still, it's still serious.
Yep.
So maintain safe distance. Still, just keep doing the right thing. But now, while you're doing the right thing, you'll get to enjoy yourself a little bit more in the process. So that's awesome. That's awesome, and I'm glad for you, because now you can open up that part again. Get more people in, have a little fun. I like it. Good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of good stuff, hold on. Oh no.
What's up?
I knew it. I forgot my notes. You want to talk for like 2 seconds and I'll go grab my notes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure. So I can chat up about something.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about Ubisoft Forward, which happened today.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
fresh. So I'll talk a little bit past about Ubi while you get your notes, and then when you get here, we'll talk about now Ubi. Excellent. So Ubisoft had their Forward, which is their direct. They had a Forward. It wasn't. I want to say it was last month, but I'm not 100% sure if it was just last month or if it was the month before. It's been a while. So pretty much they're just talking about some of the titles that they get ready to come out with and some of their future plans. This direct style thing, it seems to be obviously the talk on the way that everybody's kind of working through this COVID situation, which Nintendo's already been somewhat used to it. They've been used to it, but they haven't, because the way they have to handle it is different now. They don't have everybody into one place, so it's just like everyone has to do the stream from wherever they're streaming from, and that's been very difficult. I've noticed across all the directs. So with Ubi doing this, filling in with like the same method as everybody else, it kind of it makes it difficult for all these companies. But a lot of them, I believe, are starting to catch the hang of getting the right equipment to their staff to do it right. Kiwi did it right with the Gamescom, which we never even got to talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in general, Ubisoft is their Nintendo Direct.
Yes. Yes. And I got my I finally found my notes. I will try not to do that all the time, because if I do it too much, it's going to ruin the whole thing.
Yeah, it's not going to ruin it.
Yes. So I will not overplay the button. All right.
You can do it all you want.
I can't wait for you know what? We need Andre back, because now I want to play with that button with Andre on here.
Right, the person that doesn't swear.
The person that doesn't swear, I'm just going to swear all the time. All right. Enough with the button. So, let's get into it. The first game that they showed was a game that they talked about last year, except that game was under a different name last year. Of course, I'm talking about Gods and Monsters, which is now called Immortals Phoenix Rising. Very interesting. Although very, 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 very similar to said Breath of the Wild. I don't know if you agree with me on that one, but
I understand where you're coming from with it.
yeah.
I feel like it's a very cheap, like Zelda. I would say Breath of the Wild is the Mercedes, not even Mercedes, the BMW.
Yep.
And this is like the 9-volt battery car that is Walmart that you buy for your kids to have power.
Oh, that bad.
So when we first seen the game, I thought it was interesting and it caught my attention.
Yeah.
You know me with Greek mythology.
Yeah.
It's, I'm a huge fan of Greek myths. God of War, I'm a monstrous fan of that. But just games that relate around it, I think it's such an easy thing. This is such a what's the game called? Sea of Thieves version of Zelda. And am I wrong though? Like me saying Sea of Thieves, doesn't it pretty much hit the nail on the head?
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I see what you're saying. Like, it's not Breath of the Wild. I get what you're saying. I don't think it looked bad. That's
like I don't want to get it twisted. Like, I don't think it looks like shit by any means. I'm not a huge fan of the animation, even though the animation doesn't bother me. So I don't want to make it like, oh yeah, the animation bothers me. It's just animation like that. You got to be very careful because everything looks very plain and very blah, and it's not very immersive. And again, it was visually pretty. Like the colors stood out. They had a lot of landscape and stuff like that, but it looked very, very kiddish. It looked like a kindergarten version of God of War, and that kind of threw me off for it. And again, I'm not saying the game's bad. Like, it seems like there's a lot to it, with the building of the characters and stuff like that. And I think that's fantastic. Even the story behind it, I think, looks very interesting. But there's just so much out there that I would rather play. I feel, especially in this time of there being so much content and good content at that. It's just it doesn't. If there was nothing else to play, maybe.
Okay. This is what I think of the Greek mythology part of this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like God of War has ruined every other game to do anything Greek mythology on.
Yeah, I can
For
see that.
real. Like, I totally understand what you're saying. Like, when they were like, oh, this story is based around Greek mythology, I literally went, why?
Mhm.
Why would you base this game around Greek mythology? You just had God of War 2 years ago come out. And I get it's not the same God of War. We're not in Greek mythology anymore with Kratos. We're now in Norse mythology. But that's still that connection because they showed it in the game. There's still that connection of the Greek mythology with Kratos. Even when he brought out the Blades of Olympus, and then you saw the flashback of him talking to, oh my God,
Zeus,
Hera.
and
I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of the name. I know it's his mother, but Hera. I just feel like if you if you try to do anything Greek mythology at this point, knowing that God of War is sitting there, you're kind of playing with fire at that point because now you've set an expectation that people are expecting like stud game. Like at the very least a 9. Like if this game is anything less than a 9, it might be considered a failure. I wouldn't consider it a failure if it got 8s, maybe even 7s, but like in a lot of people's, I'm talking the general public's eye, they're going to say, oh, but it wasn't God of War. Wasn't as good as God of War. And then even with the style of it looking like Breath of the Wild, now you've got the storyline of God of War, or with the Greek mythology combined with Breath of the Wild gameplay. So now you've put more pressure on yourself as Ubisoft, in my opinion.
Right.
So I mean, we'll have to see. I believe they did release a demo. They are going to be releasing a demo soon. Which I believe you can download a free demo on Google Stadia. I believe that's what Phil Harrison said during his presentation of it. So, so if you have Stadia, you can download. I believe you can download the demo now. Someone may have to correct me on that, but I believe you can download it now. And it has a release date of December 3rd.
Yep, December 3rd,
Yep. So, pretty cool. All right. Next on the topic, the next game that they showed is kind of one that we knew about already, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. The Prince of Persia remake. Or Sands of Time remake, I should say. Doesn't look that much different than from the last one, graphically.
This was if we hadn't had the 2 years that we've had with remakes, this wouldn't be so bad. The idea of a remake has been absolutely ruined thanks to games like Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, because the understanding of a remake now, we have a clear definition of what a remake is, and what was the other term? Remake and
Remaster.
Yep. So a remaster is pretty much taking an old game, making it new. Mario 64, which we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
Or even, we can go back to Mario All-Stars, the older Mario All-Stars, taking those Mario games, remastering all Final Fantasy VII, the older ones. Like, you touch up a few things here and there. This is a remaster. This isn't a remake.
Right. Correct.
You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm playing it on a PlayStation 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not very happy with it.
Yeah, I looked at it and I knew cringe was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And even Andre said it in our chat. He went, "Oh, this doesn't look that good," to say it in light terms. And I'm like,
yeah.
Yep, I gotta agree with him. It didn't look that great.
Yeah.
So
it's a disappointment, but it's funny because like when you heard about the rumors, you were expecting a lot, and that was the thing. I'm like, I mean, you were expecting a lot, but really, how much were you expecting? You know what I mean? You weren't expecting that.
well, no, you weren't expecting that, but people were expecting like you said, Resident Evil / Final Fantasy, more realistic graphics with this one. Where they're trying to play the art style, but this art style's not working. So, but we don't know about the gameplay. I will say that.
Right.
I can't fully diss it yet because we don't know about gameplay. So we'll have to see what about gameplay as they talk about it more. I'm assuming they're doing more Ubisoft forward presentations. They did bring that up, but we'll just have to stay tuned regardless of that. Next, they talked about this. We can make this one quick. Hyperscape, which, if you didn't know, is the new BR that Ubisoft released.
Which I'm hearing is not doing really too great.
Yeah, it's not doing too good. A lot of people are still playing it, but it's not like catching fire, put it that way, that they thought it would be. They're doing a turbo mode event, which apparently is. I haven't personally played it yet, but apparently you get upgrades as you go along throughout your session. Apparently that's just going to be maxed out completely, so you just get something and everybody's getting maxed out stuff. So games are going to go faster than they were before. So there's that. That releases on the 15th of this month. Stay tuned for that. Then after that, we got a whole bunch of Rainbow Six Siege news. The big thing all right, so I'll say the first one as for the game itself. For the game itself, you're going to get Sam Fisher, which he'll be known as Zero in the game, but it's Sam Fisher. So Sam Fisher has finally returned in some sort of fashion. I'd love to see a Splinter Cell game because I love the Splinter Cell franchise. But unfortunately, I'll take him in Rainbow Six Siege. I don't play Siege myself, but I know a lot of people who still do. So I'm sure they are very excited for Sam Fisher.
Yes, sir.
As far as the overall fan base goes, this was very interesting news that they brought up. I have a question about it, which is the obvious one, but Rainbow Six Siege is going to have a World Cup next year. And the basic details is more than 45 countries will be participating in the qualifying round, and then from that qualifier they will advance. I'm not sure if they're going to do a knockout stage, kind of like Soccer World Cup, if they'll do groups and do a knockout stage first, then go into tournament after the qualifier. So we'll have to see that, and depends on how many teams are going to qualify. Usually World Cup, I believe there's 32 teams, and there's 32 teams, groups of 4 in each group for the knockout round, and then the top 2 teams advance and go to the group play stage, I should say, then go to the knockout round after that. Hopefully they do it that way. I think that would be really cool. I think it brings something, even if they got to do it all digital, it brings something digital to the scene. But the real question is, at that point next year, is it going to happen? Because, we get a lot of news with COVID, possible vaccines, but now they had to put a halt on it because of certain things, but it's fine. Because at least we're making progress regardless with that, but that's a different story. So the main question is it really going to happen next year? I hope it does, obviously. What do you think about this, Van?
I think it'd be interesting. I was always a Sam Fisher fan.
Yep.
So I don't know. When it comes to that franchise, what do you think? How do you feel about that specific character? Like, do you feel like he's an icon in video games? Like, because you see him a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
he. Anytime you see video game characters or pictures of a group of video game characters, he always tends to be in that group of pictures. You know what I mean?
I think he's a lower tier, as far as Sam Fisher goes. I think he is a lower tier iconic character.
Mm-hmm.
He's constantly brought up.
Do you think if it wasn't for Snake, that franchise would be? If it wasn't for Metal Gear, that franchise would be a lot bigger?
I don't know.
Because I feel like video games have a tendency to repeat itself in history. Every time one particular game comes out, you're going to find always that there's very similar games that come out around that same time, coincidentally. And I believe Siphon Filter was that Metal Gear knockoff. Not that it was a bad game, because it did really, really, really well, but it wasn't. It was just very similar to that whole Metal Gearish game, you know.
Right.
Obviously, it didn't compare, but the similarities were there.
It's a tough one, because I'll say it like this: like, even though Snake is there and Metal Gear is there, Snake is an iconic character. He will always be an iconic character. I think the fact that people still talk about Sam Fisher to this day, even with Snake being there, I think that's an accomplishment in itself because of how big of a character Snake is. Do I think Sam Fisher would have been bigger, to answer that question? Probably, because you don't have Snake to be compared to. So I think he would have been a bigger character. How much bigger? I don't know personally, because Snake has a unique personality.
Yeah.
Whereas Sam Fisher,
and Sam Fisher is just it's just his image.
Right. The way Snake looks, the way he acts, it's different from what Sam Fisher, because Sam Fisher is your prototypical spy / covert agent, goes in, sneaks in, uses all the equipment, does his thing. That's him.
Right.
Snake, kind of does the same thing, but it's like his personality is just so much different. Like, he's got a little more pizzazz to him, if there's a word to describe him. I think he has a little more pizzazz. But that's not dissing Sam Fisher. I think Sam Fisher is a great character, but Snake's just Snake. It's like Mario, just saying like Mario's Mario. Snake is Snake.
Yeah, I agree.
But last thing, what do you think of the World Cup?
That's the tournament for that game, right?
Yeah.
I
mean, I like the fact that they're doing a World Cup with it, and if they play it off like it's soccer, I mean, I think that would be pretty dope.
Anything Ubi does commercially, is usually done really, really well, with the exception of Cyberscape.
Yep.
With the exception of, I thought that was going to do exceptionally well. You remember when they dropped the news, I was like, oh man, this is going to be fantastic. I actually have to dig in a little bit more to see how well they're doing with that, but they kind of lost me. I stopped paying attention a little bit during that. So I got the concept and I got the idea, and I think it's a good idea. I think, Ubi is really trying to get into the esports side of things. I don't want to say esports. They're just always about the pop. Like, if we had to say what game company was the pop of the video game world, Ubi would be it. Ubi is the Britney Spears of video games, which they're always going to do the things that, what the pop cultures are going to really, really like, and the hardcore gamers are going to be like kind of snarky at it. May play some of the stuff, but kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's where Ubi stands. But with this idea, I don't want to talk it down and make it like, oh yeah, no, it's a bad idea. I think it's cool. It's just, it's not it's not that elite level opposed to if Overwatch was to do something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where Overwatch is a very hardcore gamer kind of like aspect, and
Yes.
I think it's cool. I think it's fun. I think it's a good idea, and I think we'll see where it goes. But other than that, like, am I excited for it for gaming? I mean, right now, gaming, as far as there's so many options to do with what they're trying to aim at.
Right.
Definitely not mad at it. Definitely not mad at it.
No, I think it's a unique idea. Hopefully it goes through. Hopefully they can do it in some sort of fashion. So I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. I'll have to go through these kind of quick because we got a lot to talk about. Next announcement was the 10-year anniversary of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So they are re-releasing it in a somewhat remastered version as the Scott Pilgrim Complete Edition. That will, I didn't get an exact date, but I believe it's going to be out holiday 2020 for all systems, I should say. Oh, yeah, by the way, Immortals Phoenix Rising is out for all systems. So the Switch is going to get it.
Yeah, yep. Which,
that
definitely seems like a Switch game to me.
It is a Switch game. Yeah, you know what? You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, if I was to play it, I definitely would pick it up on the Switch.
Yeah. Makes sense. Bring it portably.
Yeah.
Which there was some Switch news, but I'll get into that when we talk Nintendo. So that will be out. They showed more Watch Dogs Legion.
I mean, at this point, I feel like I played the game and beat it already.
Yeah, same. So
I think we've talked about this all the time. There's underplaying a game and overplaying a game, and they're at a point that we've been hearing about this game for the last, and I could be wrong, 4 years.
I don't know about 4 years.
At least 3.
But yeah, we've heard enough. Let's put it that way. It could have been. It feels like 4 years.
We didn't even have equipment in the lounge at that time, and we watched it. We weren't even open, I think, at that time, and we did E3 at the lounge, and that was when they dropped it.
Yep.
So it's been going on 3 years. Dude, like, just come on with the game. Like, seriously, just come on with the game.
I agree. For the love of God.
Yeah, just come on with the freaking game. Like, we really don't need to see anymore.
No. Which, coincidentally, it's coming out October 29th.
Yeah. Thank God.
We got a release date. Now stop talking about it.
Thank God. It's just way too much. Like, way too much. But that's what Ubi is good for. Is they definitely talk a lot about their games.
Yes, for sure. All right. And then the final was a game called Riders Republic, which is basically going to be like an Extreme Games open world type game. So basically,
like the biking game.
What's that?
Like the off road.
Yeah. You know, motocross, wing gliding, snowboarding, pretty much any extreme sport you can think of, it's going to be in that. And you can go all over the place, and apparently people are going to be flying over you and all this other stuff. So you're in one big open world with a whole bunch of other people. There's going to be some sort of battle royale. They kind of tease that. It's like, you know, you can start a race and have like so many people do the race. So it's like, okay. So it's like open world side battle royale extreme sports thing, which it's unique. I'll say that. It is unique. But it's not like overly hype. Let's put it that way. I would have to see more from it. But that actually also got a release date of February 25th of next year. And that was Ubisoft Forward.
Oh no, I hated it. and I enjoyed the last one more than this one. I just think this was a waste of time. I don't know.
So
I don't know. I didn't expect anything from it, I guess, but.
So the only thing I'll say is this. They gave us a lot of release dates. So I can't knock points off for that. Because when you provide a lot of release dates, that's on the better side of a presentation. As far as a letter grade, I will give it a C plus. Again, the release dates were good, but there was nothing for me personally that I went, whoa. There was no whoa moment at all.
Mm-hmm.
The closest thing there was to a whoa moment was Immortals Phoenix Rising, but literally while I'm sitting there watching it, I literally was just watching Breath of the Wild. They were literally on a cliff, jumped off the cliff, and was gliding. And I just went, that's oddly familiar.
Yeah, if I had to give it a letter grade, I'd definitely give it a C plus as well. Only reason why. So we have to get over this thing where we're providing better content in our pre-shows than our actual shows. It's just getting so bad. I don't know which one you watch. At first, I made a mistake, and I was watching GameSpot. I thought I was on the Ubisoft one, and then I realized that when they started talking about all the crap and the way they were talking, and they said GameSpot, I had to look, and I was like, oh, man, they got me. So I went and I changed it to Ubi, and I changed it just in time because then they started getting into Division 2 stuff, content, Ghost content, and it's just like, why are you releasing all this stuff free? Like, why don't you just consider this whole thing? Just say, hey, we're doing this long direct. Like, at that point, the whole thing was the direct. So why don't you just do the whole thing?
Yep.
And that's what's frustrating because there's a lot of people that probably missed all that, and they just watch the direct, and they're probably like, this was a whack ass direct. And if it was just what they called the direct, like just the direct version, no, it was definitely a whack ass direct.
Yes.
But if you include all the content that they showed, there was a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yep.
But I don't know. I'm just, again, we know where we sit with Ubi, but even for Ubi, I thought this was below Ubi's level, and it was kind of disappointing. Especially, some people are getting bored and sick of all the content that we've been getting because the summer's been so filled with content. Which this is the best summer that we've ever had, post a console release. Usually, it's only about the console. Like, other than that, content-wise, it's a very boring year. We don't even know what game we're going to give Game of the Year this year. Like, we don't even know what games we're going to put in nominees for this year. Like, the lists are pretty big. Like, you can, like, me and you and Andre have our list that we could probably say is, no, this is definitely going to be it. But you can argue some other content to be involved in there.
Yeah.
So, I feel like kind of that's where we are. With the gaming this year, so it's, I don't know, but Ubi, I thought as far as direct wise for the summer, I think that was definitely the worst.
I would say the only reason why I would put this one a little bit ahead of the first one is because the first one literally talked about Watch Dogs again, and then talked about other Tom Clancy stuff.
But we got more Assassin's Creed from that one.
Oh, no, that's right. We got more Assassin's Creed from that.
But that's why I give that one more, because at least it gave me a game that I'm not. So again, I've never really been super into all the Assassin's Creed, so even that I'm kind of like, but it's Assassin's Creed. You know what I mean? Like, it's interesting to pay attention to see what they have, and what they have in this one, caught my attention.
True.
This, it's just like they told us a name that nobody is liking right now. Which I don't care. The name, I don't care. But there's a lot of people that are not liking this game. They're being the name of the game, and they're being very vocal about it. At that point, that's when you know we're living in a world that just everyone's just bitching. Like,
well, yes.
The name really isn't that bad.
No, it's not that. Honestly, it's better than Gods and Monsters. Gods and Monsters sounds basic.
Yeah, I think this makes sense, and to me, it kind of explains the story a little bit. But whatever.
I agree. So that was Ubisoft Forward for today. All right. The next piece of news. Give me one sec.
It is the GameStops.
And I forgot what. There it is. Yes, so GameStop is expected to close 400 more stores this year. According to they're on the downfall. GameStop announces more store closures as the company loses $100 million, according to GameSpot. GameStop has closed hundreds of stores so far this year, and more closures are planned. During the company's latest earnings call, CFO Jim Bell confirmed all the key numbers in the past 3 months. GameStop closed 206 stores worldwide. For the year to date, GameStop has closed 388 stores worldwide, and this includes shutting down all of its operations in Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Sweden. GameStop now operates 5,122 stores globally, and this is 602 fewer than this time last year. For the current fiscal year, GameStop plans to close a total of 400 to 450 stores. Jim Bell says, these closures, along with the growth in our online business and expanded omni-channel capabilities, will allow us to more efficiently and profitably service our customers, Bell said. GameStop closed these stores as part of an effort to de-densify the business and reduce costs. The retailer also confirmed on an earnings call that it has sold its corporate jet. Though the company did not confirm how much money it got for it.
Stupid.
So apparently they had a corporate jet. That's nice. Good. Okay.
Fucking 808 games all over again.
So I'm about to say, ready? I'm going to ask it. When does GameStop officially go out of business?
I give them like 5 more years because they're not going to close it pre-launch of the new next gen. So I think they're going to try to ride off that. But I think within the next 5 years, you're going to see GameStop sell themselves to something else.
I will say, as far as physical stores, I'm going to be a little worse. I say within the next couple of years, all the stores will be closed. I don't think their online will be gone, but I think in the next couple of years, once the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S get going, and more people more than likely are going to go digital, you will definitely see next to near, if not all, the GameStops in the country close. So I give it another couple years when next gen gets situated with itself. I'll say this. GameStop has not been the best in their policies, obviously. You have firsthand experience of dealing with the bad policies. I also used to work for GameStop for a little while. So, I got firsthand with that stuff, too. It's not the best policies. At the same time, part of me says it kind of stings because now you're kind of seeing gaming stores go away. And now that's kind of like another childhood thing, nostalgic thing that we are used to that could possibly go away. At one point, it sucks. At another point, it's not too bad because a lot of us are going just to straight up digital in the first place. That's my opinion on that. What's your thoughts?
I you know where I stand with GameStop. They've been setting up for this. They refused to change with time. This could have all been prevented if they allowed the growth and change with who they are, but they're not doing it.
Yeah. They're almost kind of doing what Toys R Us did. Because Toys R Us, they could have had like a little partnership with Amazon and done a lot of online stuff with Amazon, but they refused to do it. And their online was like terrible. Going through their website was like horrendous at the time.
Yeah. Well, Toys R Us was a whole new level of stupid. Like they could have been involved with, Amazon, and that was the big goof up. So that's what makes their wound hurt a little bit more. GameStop, they've just been robbing people for years, but
fact. Definitely a fact.
but again, they play a huge part in gaming history. So I'm not taking that away from them. But just because of that doesn't mean that they didn't have their shitty aspects of things.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously they were I mean, around here they were EB Games first, then
Yep.
GameStop took over. They're still
Electronic
EB Games
Boutique.
around the world, but not here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're definitely an iconic, store as far as gaming goes.
Mm-hmm.
And you still have guys like Reggie Fils-Aimé that are involved with the company, and it's still not.
I'm curious on where Reggie's like his position may be. You know what I mean?
Right. He's on it. He's just on the board. That's pretty much his position. Is he's just on the board of directors. So they're just gonna make big picture, like personnel decisions at that point. I think someone else in a different position is the one that has to, improve the day by day operations of the company. I don't think Reggie's that person. If Reggie was that person, they might be doing a little better because he's with the times. He knows what to do. But he's just an investor and he's part of their board, and that's his position. I mean, he retired from Nintendo a couple years back. So, and he, did make all those tough decisions as being president of Nintendo of America. So, I think he's just taking a much lower role at this point with GameStop. So, he's definitely not making the decisions to do day by day. He's literally just on the board and is like, all right, we have to make a personnel change. Okay. That's what I think his role is at this point.
Yep.
So, unfortunately for GameStop, more stores are closing. All right. Next on the list. Wait a minute. Oh, come on. Come here. Ah. Hi, Cappy.
This is a big one.
I should have did this in the beginning.
This is a big one.
All right. Mother Mario, or I should say Nintendo, came out with some fire the other day. So, 35th anniversary of Mario. Finally, after months of speculation and every single YouTuber pretty much saying there's going to be something this month, and then the next month they say the same thing, and then the next month they say the same thing, and this went on for literally 4 months. This Mario 35th anniversary direct has been rumored. Finally happened earlier this month, and good God, Van.
Yeah, no, this was a big one.
Good God. So much stuff. I've got the full list of things that they announced right here because I had to, can't believe I had to say this, but I had to go back and rewatch it just so I remembered all the stuff. So the first thing they talked about, they are releasing a Game & Watch Mario edition.
Not my type of thing, but the nostalgia people that love that type of crap, it's a fantastic thing for them.
I've never owned a Game & Watch.
Oh my God, Kyle.
I may pick it up, but I may leave it in box. More than likely, I'm going to leave it in box.
I'm good.
They are doing a limited run.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's one of those collector items things.
Oh yeah, of course. Let's put it this way: there's 95 ways I can play Super Mario Bros. And Super Mario Bros. 2: The Lost Levels now at this point. So I don't think I really need to open it, but they are doing a limited run, so it's a good collector's item. Let's put it that way.
Agreed.
They will be releasing it on November 13th, again with limited production. So people are going to jump at this and go crazy and try to, secure one for themselves. Whether they're going to use it or take it out or keep it in box to sell it to somebody else, who knows? The next announcement that they had was definitely an announcement we were expecting. One of them, but this is still a fire announcement, and that was Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
The Bowser's Fury, that's going to be pretty cool.
That's very interesting. That was a very interesting cinematic trailer.
And like I said, Super Mario World 3D is one of the best 3D platforming games that exist. Like, that game is so awesome, so fun. I think that was like one of my favorite games for the Wii U. It's an awesome game.
It's such a good game.
It's an
underrated Mario game.
Oh yeah.
About to say, and the only reason why I say that is because it was on the Wii U, and not a lot of people got to play it because, like I said, it's on the Wii U.
Visually so stunning with colors, beautiful, so much fun. You can play it with people. The level creation was amazing. That's why like this Mario Maker is probably one of my favorites, is because they added a lot of the aspects from that game into it.
Speaking of playing with multiplayer,
you've seen the button getting pushed.
Been a while. Online play is going to be a thing for this game, which is nuts and awesome. So now, like, if we wanted to play, me, you, and Andre could get on and play some Super Mario 3D World, which would be pretty sweet. I never got to play multiplayer of it, but it definitely works really well. The game, again, like we just said, the game's stunning. The game's stunning. And graphically, it's probably going to look a little bit better now on the Switch.
It's what we wanted multiplayer-wise out of a Mario game for all our life.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the best things about this Mario game is it's everything that we've always wanted. And like you said, just because it was on the Wii U, it lost so much.
Agreed. So that's, obviously, we were expecting that. That got a release date of February 12th of next year.
Fantastic.
Love it.
Yep.
The next thing that they announced was not expected, but I thought was pretty awesome, was Super Mario Bros. 35.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
I was say a little Mario Battle Royale that literally kind of looks like Tetris 99. Obviously, it doesn't play like Tetris 99, but very unique. Obviously, Tetris 99 is a very unique Battle Royale type game. This is going to be awesome. I'm just mad that you can only play it till March 31st. Which I don't know why they did it with that game. Because that is that's a Nintendo Online game that you can play that's free, like Super Kirby Clash. Like, Tetris 99. Ninjala. But it'll still be fun. That's going to get released on October 1st. So right when Halloween month starts, we'll be able to play Super Mario Bros. 35. And I'm going to wipe the floor with everybody.
I'm very interested in how that's going to work. When's the date for that again?
October 1st.
Yeah.
I think, I like you'll be able to target certain people. Because that's the main thing of what Tetris 99 was. You can target like a single player if you wanted. You can target, a group of players based on a category. So that is going to be very interesting going through a map while you're doing that. I do like the fact that you kind of have to kill enemies because that's how you get you keep your time going. But obviously, if you die, you're out. But if you run out of time, you're out as well. So you have to keep, getting rid of enemies in order to keep the time going. Plus, you add enemies to somebody else's screen that makes it harder for them. So it's going to be nuts.
Yeah, I liked it. As soon as I seen it, I was like, wow. Like, I've said it before. I said this when Super Mario Odyssey came out.
Yep.
How can you so many times recreate one brand of a game and be so successful at it? Like, it's unbelievable. Like
Yep.
there is no more successful franchise in the world than the creators of Mario. In the entire world, more than Disney, more than comic books, more than anything.
Yeah.
First of all, as soon as someone sees a character from Mario, not just one, but Mario, Luigi, Toad, Bowser, Peach, and we can even throw Yoshi in there. And you know what? We're gonna throw a Boomba in there, right?
Yeah.
Even you know, Boo. You can show Boo, and most people know Boo, but we're gonna take Boo away from this just for this example.
Yeah.
7 characters. There is no franchise in the world besides maybe Disney that you can name 7 characters.
I agree.
Like
I agree.
on a bigger scale, on a much bigger scale. You know what I mean? Like if you take some random bum off the street, they'd be like, "Oh, who's this? Oh, yeah, that's Bowser."
Yeah, I agree. That's like literally showing. You know, you show Mario, people know Mario. It's like showing Michael Jordan. People know Michael Jordan or LeBron James.
Yep.
Like that.
Yep.
It is crazy. It's crazy how Nintendo does that too.
And they're just like, "Hey, why don't we make a Battle Royale Mario game?"
Okay.
What?
And it'll work.
And it worked. And it will work.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, big ups.
It's crazy. It is crazy. So Super Mario Bros.
I'm very excited for that. I think out of all the announcements, I think that's one of the ones that I am somewhat most, not by far, but I think I'm most because it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
And I like those surprises the most, the ones that you can't think of.
I agree. The next game that they showed was Mario Kart Live Home Circuit.
Love it. Absolutely fucking love it. I'm in amazing love with this thing. Like, what? You're literally taking Mario Kart and making it live action?
Yeah. Yep.
That's insane.
That is insane.
Who would have thought of that?
Not me. Definitely not me. Not nobody in this.
I mean, when you see it now, you're like, it makes sense, right?
Oh,
like, it makes sense. But, like, nobody has even thought, like, hey, you know what they should do? They should take the remote control cars, make it into IR and AR and put it into Mario. Like, you would have never thought of it.
It's lovely.
And this is why Nintendo that's so amazing is because you're going to get those, you know, what is it? The Vitori sensors. You're going to get those stupid little things, but 1 out of 30 ideas is a bad idea, and you wouldn't get those crazy out of the box ideas if you didn't think of some of the bad ones too. And that Mario Kart thing, man, I'm dude. There's so much I could do with that. So much I can do with that, and I'm in love, and I hope they expand that. I really do. Like they come out with the Bowser, they come out with, because it looks like right now they only have Mario and Luigi. Yeah. I hope they come out with all of the Mario Kart characters. I really
sure
do.
They will.
I mean, that's a gold mine they're sitting on right there.
Oh yeah. All right, so this is gonna sound weird. The only reason that I'm not hyped about this, well, there's couple reasons. 2 reasons. 1, I don't feel like I'm young enough to buy it.
Fuck that.
And 2,
you are.
And 2, I don't have the room. So now I'm like, I'm not hyped now because I don't have the room to play.
But think of it like this way, like for our example, like I put something like that at the lounge and then I set up circuits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you have somewhere to go, and it's just like that makes a difference. If you have somewhere to go to run those circuits, man, and the remote control car stops when it gets hit, like it all makes sense because you're seeing it. You're like, this just makes sense.
Correct.
It just makes sense.
It is brilliant though. It is brilliant. I think it's an amazing announcement. I just wish I had more room. And
there's no better time than now. There's no better time. like Nintendo is on the biggest stride in Nintendo history right now.
Yeah, and think of it. Think of this. I'm just gonna say this quick. 3 months ago, what were people saying about Nintendo? They only had Animal Crossing.
Well, this year they only had Animal Crossing, but in reality, those are just people like forgetting what Nintendo is also dropped because Pokemon, even though it's at the end of the year, that's still technically considered like this year. You know what I mean? Like something that late is like, oh, it's this year. Like that's still hot. That's why you don't see something at the beginning of the year is because they just dropped Pokemon. They're not gonna drop something at the beginning of the year. They just dropped one of the biggest franchises right at the end, so it doesn't make sense. So for them to get the success that they got from Animal Crossing as early as they did, like that's a fucking a left jab into a right hook.
Oh God, yeah. And you gotta, and the other thing, and they keep saying it, but I don't think they understand, is that with this year, it's been hard for all the companies to do exactly what they wanted to do. Like we didn't have an E3, so
not Nintendo.
No. I mean, and we said it too. Like we were saying that Nintendo's just milking. Like when they were coming out with those other presentations, those other directs, they were just milking their time, and that's what I kept saying. But a lot of people were so concerned with them, thinking that nothing else could maybe come out this year. And all I kept thinking to myself is, just wait and see. Literally, I'm like, just wait and see. Then they dropped this direct, and then they dropped other news a week later that we'll get into. And now it's like everything changed in a matter of a couple weeks. Everything has changed with, Nintendo not having anything this year. But I digress with that. So, Mario Kart Live Home Circuit, and that releases October 16th. Then they just talked about a few other things. So on Nintendo.com, you can do Mario missions. If you complete all the missions early enough, you can get a limited edition pin set. I'm going for the pin set, so I've already gotten 4 missions done. The only 2 missions I have left are playing Mario Kart Tour on the phone again, so I have to get back into that. And just purchasing the Mario 3D All-Stars that we'll talk about in a minute. So you can do that and get exclusive pins, limited edition pins. They have 35th anniversary merch that you can get at the Nintendo store if you're in New York, or you can get it online. So you can get it. You don't have to go to New York to get the stuff. They got that. There is a Ninja speed run in Mario Maker 2 that was made for the 35th anniversary. I believe that's up now. Splatoon 2 is going to be doing a Mario Splatfest at some point during the 35th anniversary. And then there will also be Mario furniture in Animal Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be pretty dope, because then I'm just going to make a whole Mario room with that. So that's just all the little stuff. The last 2 announcements was the original Super Mario All-Stars came to SNES Online.
Yep.
So I'm sure you're excited about that, Van.
Already played it.
I know.
Already played it.
Yep. So that is That was available the day of the presentation, so that is out now.
Mm-hmm.
And then the worst kept secret in gaming for months. All we kept hearing was the 35th anniversary collection. It's going to be the 3D Marios. Part of me was doubting this, but part of me didn't doubt it. But nonetheless, they revealed it finally with Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which is a compilation of Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. All phenomenal Mario games. If you haven't played all of them, phenomenal Mario games. Graphically enhanced. The only thing I do know as far as graphics is that you will not get the 16:9 with Mario 64. Probably because of the era that it was in. They probably couldn't do that. But nonetheless, We're still getting Mario 64 on the Switch portable. I'm not complaining. But everything else is upscaled to basically HD graphics, 16 by 9s, and it's going to look much better than the originals did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to say anything. You already know I'm hyped. So what's your thoughts?
I love it. I like the idea of it. I know why people were upset, but Jesus Christ. Everyone wants the Mario 64 remake, and Unreal completely, absolutely ruined that. Whoever designed it in Unreal, and I think that is what killed it. But, I mean, come on. Like, I get it. That's what you want. But realistically, like, it's fine. It's fine. This is, they did a little bit of a re-enhance on some of the stuff, but in general, we're getting it on the Switch. And that's, I think, everyone's problem, too. It's just like, well, we don't need it on the Switch. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I understand what they did with the regular Mario. They enhanced the regular Mario when Mario came out for Mario All-Stars for Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
But whatever Nintendo's reasons are going to be, it didn't make me mad. Like, there are some people that are genuinely mad. Like, come on. Like, I can see you being disappointed. That's fine to be disappointed. But to be mad, I think, is just a little bit too much. Because I think you're just setting up the hype for it to be that. And again, I feel like a lot of that is due to like, you know, Unreal Engine. And plus seeing things like, you know, Resident Evil and all that stuff remade, you're kind of like, when's Nintendo character turn? And it's just, I just don't think it's time. It could be. It very well could be, but I think they were more like, hey, they're riding off so much success. They don't need it.
Right.
They don't need it. That's why I'm not mad. I'm happy to get it the way it is.
I have a lot of opinions on this. I'm not going to get into all of them because we do have a few subjects left to do.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, my whole thing, I'm just going to keep it short and simple. Stop complaining. This is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
I get the whole limited edition, the limited run thing is aggravating. And I get a lot of people out of work.
That I get. Yeah, that I get. Yeah.
I mean, I understand that. You do have till March to get it. So you still have a good window to get it. And, you know, honestly, this actually comes with, you know, if you want to help somebody out, why don't you get it for them if they can't afford it? This can play into the whole, you know, help your buddy, help your neighbor situation that we probably should be doing right now within our country. Not to get political, but, you know, people don't want to do that. That's why people complain. And I'm like, so why don't you, if you have the money, buy it for someone and help them out? So, but I'm not going to get any more into that. I can go on a whole show about that. So, so that was the 35th anniversary presentation. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Great announcements.
Yep, A+. Had everything we wanted, everything we didn't know we wanted, and more.
Yes. And then Nintendo decided to do something else.
We dropped it like out of nowhere. Later.
Literally, I'm sitting at work, right? And I'm like, I just go to lunch. I just happen to go on my phone. I go on YouTube. Scrolling. Hyrule Warriors. I'm like, what? Like, is this DLC? And then I look at it and I'm watching the video and I'm watching Onuma. And I'm like, this isn't DLC. This is new. Yeah. And then I watch it more, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. The sales for the Wii U Hyrule, the Switch edition of that, has been through the roof since they announced this.
Yeah. All I'm going to say is this, because we got to kind of make this one quick.
Yep.
I love that they're doing the prequel and we're going to see the events of what happened 100 years prior to Breath of the Wild. Everybody wanted that. We're going to get it. And it makes perfect sense to do it in a Hyrule Warrior style. Yep.
Only makes sense because that's what that whole thing was.
And then the other thing, too, is Onuma was working with Koei Tecmo during this game. So if you thought that the last Hyrule Warriors was phenomenal, and Fire Emblem Warriors was a great game, too. I played so many hours of Fire Emblem Warriors. wait till this one comes out.
Yep.
It's gonna be
Yep.
insane.
It's gonna be this is gonna be really cool. And you know me, like I'm not super into all that, but like that I'm cool with.
Dare I say, this more than likely is gonna be the best Warriors game.
Mm-hmm.
No question.
I agree.
I
agree.
November 20th.
Mm-hmm.
It's dropping this year. Good God.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nintendo's safe for 2020. What do you think?
Yeah, no, they're good.
I think they're good now. I think everybody can relax now.
Yep, nope, they're good.
They're good. All right. Now we're going to get into some very interesting stuff. NVIDIA.
This is kind of where I step in, right?
What?
I said this is kind of where I step in, right?
This is where you mostly step in, but I am hyped about this too. I would love to get my hands on one of these, but I recently, purchased this big thing. So I'm going to hold off for now, but
I'm gonna keep it very, very basic and simple. Like you said, we don't have a lot of time, and our main topic is the biggest topic. And I want to make sure I definitely get my words in on that. Yes. But pretty much NVIDIA dropped their newest line, the 3000 series, the 370, the 380, and the beast of the 3090. The 3070 equals out to be double the power of a 2080 Ti at half the price.
Did you say the 3070 does?
3070, yeah. The 3070 at half the price of what the 3080 Ti, 2080 Ti does. 2080 Ti is what, $1,200?
The 20? Oh, I think I believe so.
I want to say give or take $1,200.
Give or take.
And then the 3070 is I want to say it is $499.
Yes.
Yep. Unbelievable.
The 2080 Ti is $1,000.
Yep. Which that price drop probably happened when it came with these, but it's gonna. And then now, you'll be able to get great 4K running out of this, which is fantastic. They built in a lot of extra features and extra things into this too. That's going to help gaming in general. And they kept a lot of content creators in mind with this. Yes. The last thing I want to say is the 3090 is such a beast that it was running 8K at 60 frames per second. If you have not gone and seen this video yet, please go see this video and let them explain exactly what was going on. Let me just tell you, I believe that one is $1,299. Oh no, $1,499.
$1,500 for the 3090.
Yeah. Yep. So $699 for the 3080. Yep. So very low priced. And as far as what they get for power compared to the last generation, but the 3090 is a monster. It's just a monster. There's nothing that's going to come close to this for a very long time. Like, this dude was pulling graphic cards out of behind the spatulas. He was pulling graphic cards out of his oven. Like, that was probably like the best part.
Accidentally.
And then they call it the BMFG.
Oh my God! Yes.
BMFGC. I love it.
I'll just say the words. I'll just say the words. It's the big mother graphics cards. Oh, sorry. Dare I say, it's a very epic graphics card.
So that's all I have to say about it. This is fantastic news, and I really think they're aiming at consoles with this one.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this quick. They dropped this news, and I went, what? What next gen?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know me. I'm not a big PC person. I've always been a console guy, but good God, like after I had this thing built, I should say, I'm like, holy moly. I'm not even hyped anymore for consoles. Like, what the frick?
Right. This is crazy. This is crazy.
People are so mad right now. People are so mad if they bought a 20 series. They're so mad right now. And I don't blame them. This was like what, 2 years after? 2 years after they dropped the 20 series? I think it was 2018.
Yes, 2 years. Yep.
That's crazy. So, nonetheless, an epic reveal. All right. So that was NVIDIA. Tremendous job. Tremendous job.
Yep.
All right, and then our final topic of the day. Oh, hold on one sec. Hello, thank you. Xbox finally, forcibly, revealed their...
Oh, without a doubt, this was not their intent at all to drop this early.
Oh, God, no. Oh, yeah, God, no.
It definitely flipped.
So, for the people that don't know, the Series S itself was leaked. Now, people knew that a Series S was coming, but it was leaked by another source to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And Microsoft just decided to say, yeah, it happened. Screw it. We're going to have to do it now. The cat's out of the bag. Mm-hmm. So, nonetheless,
yeah,
Xbox...
I think this was definitely an accident. They did not want this to come out this early.
Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. But nonetheless, the Xbox Series S has been revealed along with the pricing of both the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S. Obviously, you can see the prices right there. $299 for the Series S and $499 for the Series X.
I couldn't have been any more right.
Pretty much what was expected. I was being the Debbie Downer. I thought it would be a little higher only because of certain things.
Which is what everybody was expecting. So I think you knew, you were just like, hey, I'm not trying to overhype this thing to be low cost. But I just knew from the year that they came from with this one, PlayStation already played with the high price thing. It failed miserably. So I think that's where this idea came from. And when I had to guess the price of the low cost one, I was afraid to do $299, but I said it anyways.
Yeah.
And just because I'm just like, if this one has to be this one, I have to say $300. I have to. And I was afraid to say it, and look at it. It's there.
Yes. I think it's a pretty good price for it.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. Do you have the specs for it by chance up?
I don't. Give me one sec.
So, this thing doesn't game at 4K, but it scales up to 4K. It does 1440 at 120. No, is it 120 frames per second, or is it 60?
I believe it's 120.
Okay, I want to say it's 120. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. And I think this machine is definitely, it's all digital, no disc. The only thing that bothers me a lot is the hard drive size. It's only 500 gigs. That is awful.
Yes.
That is the one biggest flaw of this. I think everything else is fantastic, but now you're going to already make me go out and buy a hard drive for it. You know what I mean? Especially with it being a digital, all digital thing, which is, it sucks. They also announced the, hold on one second. Let me just pull it up. The payment plan with where you get the Xbox and Ultimate Game Pass. For the S, it's $24.99 a month for 24 months, and the X is $34.99 per month for 24 months. So I think that's awesome. I think they did a really good job at this. Really good job with this.
Yeah.
And the date is November 10th. Pre-orders start September 22nd.
Correct. So in about a week and a half, pre-orders will start going up for it.
Yep.
Also, Game Pass is going to include EA Play.
Crazy. That announcement's crazy. I'd like to see a little bit more detail on that, though.
Yeah.
Personally, to be like, okay, because they can be like, hey, not all the games are going to be on there, but let's see.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check what game. Well, let's put it this way: if that is the case, more than likely that means Star Wars Squadrons is gonna be on that. Is gonna be on that EA Play for sure. Because I would assume that the brand new games are on EA Play. I would assume it. So, I believe Van is looking up those games right now for EA Play. For me personally, I do love that they are doing this, payment plan. $35 for 24 months. So I need a calculator. Anybody got a calculator?
I know I heard somebody say it before, but I can't remember what they said. So then it sounds like it's the whole catalog it's saying.
Oh, good. So, all right. So basically $21 a month for the Xbox Series X. And then Game Pass. Oh, it's Game Pass Ultimate. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Game Pass Ultimate. $15 over the 24 months. That's $360. Yeah. So it's actually not a bad. So $21 plus the 15, right about around the range that that it equals out to for both things combined. That's even if you're including tax. Like for example, being here in Rhode Island, we have the 7% tax, so that pretty much evens out to including tax as well. Which is pretty sweet. So it's not a bad deal if you're going to do a payment plan on this. It's not a bad deal at all to do it. If you're strapped for cash, but you really want that Xbox, even if you just get the Series S, it's all digital. Unfortunately, It's the 500 gigabytes, but $25 a month. If you want to do that with Game Pass Ultimate, so you get every single game from Game Pass Ultimate, that's an awesome deal.
I'm telling you guys, like I know you and Andre are like a little upset and disappointed with how Xbox is approaching this thing, but I love how they're coming. They're coming at such a different angle. I truly feel Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox. They all three of them now officially give us a reason to why we would want all three consoles. And I think it's a beautiful thing. Like for PlayStation, like buy the PlayStation exclusive only. Xbox, you sign up for the membership. Now you can get all those games that are across all those platforms that you wouldn't maybe try, but maybe want to try. You get all of them for Game Pass right there in your palm of your hand. And then Nintendo, I think it's a little obvious. I don't even have to point out all the things with Nintendo. So like, I think it's about time Xbox separated them. I think them trying to compete with PlayStation, they were just going to shoot themselves in the foot. And to see where they're going at with this, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And even though the prices were what I predicted, it just feels good to see it. Like it's such a it's a good sigh of relief because it could have been more. So it's just I'm happy to see the way that they're approaching this. I'm happy that they're really beating up this Game Pass thing and they're really sticking by it because I truly believe in that plan. I believe in everything I know about video games in that plan. So thank goodness for it.
I agree. My whole thing is I'm not disappointed as far as the payment plans go. Like the payment plans is a big thing. I'll say that. I'm not disappointed with them doing the Game Pass thing. That is what they're basing their thing on. They're going with it. I get it. My whole thing and Andre's whole thing
is the exclusives.
What?
Is the exclusives.
Exactly.
But I think it's coming. I think that's definitely coming. I just think they built such an awesome foundation that they're giving everybody a reason why they want to be exclusive on PlayStation. I mean, I'm sorry, Xbox.
Oh no, I get that, but the problem is the first 2 years there's not going to be any Series X exclusives. So again, what's the point of getting it for that aspect of it? Because you're still going to get Game Pass and you're still going to get those games.
Right. So that's the joy to me that I see people getting is budget-wise. Like they can only spend $299, right? Or now even a monthly plan, which they're saving even more. Not saving, but you get what I'm saying, spending less up front, right? And now you just add the Game Pass if you don't do the monthly plan, right? You add that Game Pass, and now you have a huge library of games right from the get go. Even though they have those games for other consoles, you don't even have to pay for them. They're right there already. You already own them, and you have a library of games that you might not even have bought, and now you can even dive into those games. Like the library is huge. So I think that within itself is going to what's going to egg people on to go there. It's like, you know what? I think people are going to catch on to it. I really wholeheartedly believe it. And the way PlayStation's attacking it, I think PlayStation's doing a fantastic job attacking this the way they are.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I told you before, I feel like this, leading up to the systems, like there have been definitely great moments.
Mm-hmm.
I think just like not announcing the price for like the longest time, and then the 30 series got announced and completely blew everybody away. Like it kind of like died down the hype for both these systems, like in the general public, in my opinion. There's still good games. Like there's still good games that Sony announced and stuff like Ratchet and Clank Horizon. And I might sound hypocritical saying this, but now this is kind of like, when people were talking about the Switch, and now we're just going to talk strictly games, just kind of switch the subjects, but when they were talking about the Switch and the launch lineup, they were like, there's no games at launch. There was Breath of the Wild and then a bunch of games. But Breath of the Wild held up for the month prior to when Mario Kart Deluxe came out. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
and then once Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out, it just took off.
Right.
Because it sold so much stuff.
Right.
With these two consoles, you don't have that launch game because we don't even know if Ratchet and Clank is going to be a launch title.
Right, exactly. We don't know. We still haven't even gotten a date with that yet because we don't have a date for the fucking console.
Right. We don't have a date for the PlayStation, and we don't have a price for the PlayStation yet either.
Yeah.
But we don't know what PlayStation's launching, if we're just going to roll off of Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2.
Right,
we
exactly.
don't know. And if they do it that way, that's kind of dying down the hype because people have already played those games. They've already played Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2. If you're a Sony fan, you've definitely played those games already.
Yep.
So to get the PS5, it's like, okay, but you expect us to play the same game again?
Right.
Now it might be upscaled?
Right.
It's tough to do that. You need that brand new game. Like
I agree.
Xbox was going to have it with Halo Infinite, but then we knew about all the debacle that was going on at 343, and then that showed when it got delayed till next year. When it comes out next year, we have no idea. But the ball's in Sony's court now, and Sony can just be like, whatever. They were supposed to have something this week, I guess. That didn't happen, so I'm sure something.
I think they're gonna hit that 500, 550 mark.
I agree. I think it'll be $500. I think you're right. $500 for the PS5, and then $450 for the all digital.
Yeah, I agree. So I agree. That would surprise me if it's 400. I'd be surprised, but I would be very happy.
It would be surprising. But we'll see.
Yeah.
So Sony, the ball is in your court for this one.
Let's go, Sony.
Any final thoughts, good sir?
There's a lot, and there's still a lot that we haven't gone through. But next week's show, we'll come back at it again, and we'll tackle. There's so much content. There's a summer worth of content, so we have plenty to talk about, and hopefully there's even more news from this weekend. So we'll see.
We'll see. There's been some surprises for sure throughout the week.
Definitely feels good to be back and sharing all this stuff with everybody, though.
Yes, absolutely. So, all right. So, guys, that is going to do it for us this week. I'm glad I got to play with my new toy.
I love it, though. It's awesome.
I haven't tried the other stuff yet.
I'm afraid
I tried this. What happened? Oh, that's what happened.
You're going to push a button and shut everything off.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I
don't know what you're talking about, man. What are you talking about? You want me to do the whole show like this?
That's
And in the
awesome.
whole show like this, or I can do the whole show like this and be Darth Vader. Or I'll just do normal voice. Who knows? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for us this week. Tune in next week where we'll have plenty of more news, and I will have plenty of more fun things to do with my Go XLR. So, until next week, everybody. Peace.
Bye.